Good evening, my beautiful people. What is up? It is Saturday, the 14th. What's going on? I hope you had a wonderful Friday the 13th. I hope you did some wonderful brujeria. Hope you did some good juju. I hope you got all the good stuff, and you had a great time. And then you attracted all the good luck to you. I hope you had a wonderful evening and a wonderful today and Saturday. This is coming out a little late because y'all, I don't really tape. I know I'm gonna start doing it, like doing the videos beforehand, because as you know, mine is very rustic, very off the hip, very right here and now kind of videos. Very, I have an idea of what I want to say, an idea of what I want to do, and I go off and I just speak. But I'm gonna try and do more videos that are a little bit more to keep the continuity going on. So I'm gonna do a couple and get them out there. I want to get more consistency out there, more content for y'all, so that you can get involved in the Casa de Juju madness. Which, by the way, if you're new here, thanks for stopping by, and if you're a repeat offender, come on in. This is the YouTube channel for La Casa de Juju, which is an online and Facebook esoteric, magical, spiritual store where we make wonderful products, apothecaria, curios, and even jewelry, which we'll get into a little bit. And also, it's my channel as well, Papa Rose, who is the half proprietor or the co-proprietor of La Casa de Juju, and Papa Rose, your favorite Papatio, not Tapatio, but just as spicy as the sauce. And here we talk about all sorts of things, days in the life of a backwoods brujo from New York, living in the beloved in Southwest Mississippi. And what we do, our products, upcoming events, spiritual points of view, philosophies, and what have you, and really just chilling out and enjoying a safe space where we could talk about spirituality and just talk about things you want to talk about, alternative spirituality, especially mine. And mine is based, of course, in Puerto Rican Espiritismo, Lukumis, or known as Santeria, as well as other ATR and ADR, African traditional religion and African diasporic religion, and spiritualities, as well as some down home good old brujeria and conjure and root work and some hoodoo. So y'all come in, tuck in, and let's talk turkey tonight. Thank you for coming. Oh, and before we go any further, please like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends, your other witchy friends. And let's get up. There's a space in the casa for somebody, and we always have some tea or lemonade ready. And please click the bell, hit the notification bell, so you stay abreast of all the new videos that will be coming out shortly. So onward and upward, like I said. Friday the 13th was fun. Saturday the 14th, we were like trying to catch up with ourselves because child, and it's the sesh, so you know what just finished happening. Blueberry muffins is a beautiful strain, if you know, you know. And we're finishing up work, been trying to play catch up because we stayed up until the end of the night, y'all. We saw the sun come up and said, yes, and gets that energy going because sometimes it's fun to do your magic and also be rooted in a little bit of fun, a little bit of happy. So, we did. We watched some Friday the 13th. Yes, the first two Friday the 13th. I just can't do the whole thing. Y'all are going to be mad with me. Y'all are going to talk about me. But I liked the first two original Friday the 13th. And I even liked the remake for what it was worth. And we enjoyed it. We did there. We saw some other movies of that genre, that ilk. And in between that, we doing some witchcraft. We doing some work. We doing some spiritual stuff. We lighting candles. We preparing some things. Because the waning moon is about doing some types of work. And we're still in a waning moon up until the 19th, St. Joseph's Day, y'all. If you're from New Orleans, you know St. Joseph's Day around the corner, and St. Patty's Day as well. So the 17th, and St. Gertrude's Day as well, because St. Gertrude of Nivelles, who was the patron saint of cats, and I probably murdered that pronunciation, but still, y'all forgive me. She's a patron saint of cats and cat lovers, and since I am the proud cat daddy of a rather obnoxious little girl who always gets into our stuff, I gotta give her praise too, and I have a little bit more of a love towards. But everybody loves St. Joseph. When you're down here, especially this close to New Orleans, and since I lived in New Orleans before, St. Joseph is a big thing. It is a big celebration, a big festival, and everybody got their St. Joseph's altar going on. So here's a little tidbit for you for your Saturday. St. Joseph is the patron saint of real estate and the patron saint of miracles as well. If you need a job and you need to work with, that energy, you go to him. In voodoo, he is seen as a Catholic stand, syncretism for Papa Loco, Loco Atisu, the first Ungan, or the first priest. For us in Santeria, he is considered one of the Obatalas. There are many different aspects of Obatala, and due to the syncretism and the fact that we had to hide behind the Catholic Church to keep our spiritual traditions alive, we had him as the figurehead as well, because Obatala is considered the father of all the Orishas, as well as the father of humanity as well. So as such, the adopted father of Yeshua makes sense. And also, as an archetype and as a person, as a saint in spirit, Joseph's a very kind-hearted, albeit kind of not strict, but organized kind of saint spirit to work with. Because he's a carpenter. They get things right. They got to have everything precise. So when you work with him, he comes through, but you got to make sure that you're doing the right thing. And by the right thing is, are you being honorable? Are you standing up for yourself? Are you being authentic? Are you being real? Are you censoring? And are you giving the product, the best product, putting your best foot forward? So he's like the dad of dads, and very much beloved, and such an amazing miracle worker. And like I said, real estate, we have sold, we have helped sell houses and find houses with St. Joseph's help. So there's a little tidbit for you and why he's so amazing. And since it was a lot of the Italian and Sicilian Americans that came over, our immigrants that helped enrich our land, they brought with them their spiritual practices and the folk Catholicism as well. And that's one of the reasons why St. Joseph's altars are so big in New Orleans and throughout the area, because St. Joseph did so many wonderful miracles and helped the Italian American community thrive in places where sometimes they didn't feel they could or had that leg up. And so they had that energy, that interaction, those that did. And there's always somebody's not praying to one of the saints for some help. So there you go. And you'll see elaborate altars to St. Joseph. I'll talk more about him later on as we get closer to his day. But there'll be elaborate altars to St. Joseph and food, because you feed people. And these are beautiful. They're even still to this day, the Times Picayune will go to different houses and what have you, the paper in New Orleans, and take pictures and photos of the different altars. And a lot of the old Italian families will like make these beautiful altars and tables full of food and invite people in, because it's considered that as you share and you give bounty, not only does it come back, it pleases St. Joseph, who wanted to help the world. So there you go, right? Here's a little bit of lore, a little bit of legend. And as for us, we always had a big thing with St. Joseph for many different reasons. But as a carpenter and as someone who helped people get work when you needed help finding a job, especially those that were in the trades, you went to him. So there you go. There's something for you tonight. If you didn't know, you do now. And if you did know, or you heard some other things about St. Joseph or something like that, get up in the comments. Let's talk about it. Let's get involved. Let's start a discussion. Also, doing all this stuff, watching movies, having fun, finding yourself and enjoying your life. Because Friday the 13th isn't about, and now we know that it was never about bad luck. It was never about anything. It was about the divine feminine, the 13 moons, aligning yourself with your magic. And since we're in the waning moon, speaking of moon coming back up, this is the time in this last part to get rid of what we don't need. And I am such a huge proponent of that which no longer serves you. Get rid of it. Or let it flow on. And I don't just mean things. I mean, if there is a relationship where it's only one way, let it go. Or if there's a relationship where you're not getting anything, where you feel fulfilled, or you feel like there's no communication or something, and you're constantly trying to put life into this relationship or trying to do some of it, maybe let it go. The universe is probably telling you, now's the time to go on. And again, there's a difference between separating on that, oh, I can't stand that blankety blank, 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 with blank, blank, blank. No. Do it like, you got to go your way, I'm going to go my way. I don't mean you no harm, I mean you well. Unless they earned it. Now, because I am not one of those that it's like surround everyone with white light. No. In this world, you get what you pay for. So if they paid for something, make sure you give it to them with receipts. If they didn't pay for it, then no. But that's where discernment comes in. What part of this was yours? What part of this wasn't? And that's the thing you got to keep up to be an adult. Ooh, it's hard to say that word. But Tupac said it best, and I always say this. I want you to eat. I just don't want you to do it here. You can find a table. And that's how you do it. So if you've come to places where you need to start drifting away into your own world and recentering on yourself for your focus, for your forward movement, then do so, my baby. Go. Enjoy that. It's okay. It's okay to take care of you. It's okay to go for your dreams and reach for something that's yours. And it is okay to eat the cookie, the first cookie, not say, oh, let me save it for somebody. Sometimes it's okay to eat your cookie, baby. Eat your cookie. And then share the rest with everybody else. But make sure that your mask, your air mask is on before you help anybody else put their air masks on. They learned this on the plane. You know that, right? Best spiritual advice ever. So, that said, let me jump into my shameless plugs and love for all my people. I want to send a big shout out to everybody who has been amazing with me. My sister girl, mi abuelita, not my yawo, but and if you know, you know, not my, but one of my girls who's just coming out of her year of white, yaworaje, mi abuelita. Thank you so much for being one of the team players in La Casa. My girl Oribe, me, Miss Tiff Tiff. She's always there too, giving you some love. Thank you so much for your insights. Thank you so much for your assistance and sending you all good health, love, and all that good stuff. And also Steph and my Cinnabear Lloyd and my girl, Big Ruthie. Ruthie just had a birthday yesterday, so happy birthday, baby. So one of my coven of chaos and madness, one of my girls, we were just talking, we were just having a discussion about things, and we were talking about crystals and stuff, and somebody had asked me, and it was one of the many times I've been asked, where you get your bling? Where you get all those crystals and things? Baby, 90% of this I make for myself. I am a sacred tinkerer. I like to tinker with spiritual things and make beautiful objets du léant d'esprit, the objects of spiritual art. Not the rings, because the rings are different, but I love me my rings, baby. You know I like my rings and things. But a lot of the bracelets you see, I make these. Chaplets, I make them. Even this, which is an ankh that my hubs gave me. I wanted to spiff it up, so I decided to put a lapis lazuli on top of it as well. So it's things like that that we do. And I had questions also from y'all, from the internet, the interwebs, the great social media, los redes sociales, that said, "Yo, how to do that? How what's this? What's that?" Baby, please do the research on my Facebook page and soon coming up the website where you'll get to see more stuff. So please keep an eye out. Big things are coming. You'll be seeing these things that I do. I make them when I make a chaplet, when I make bracelets. I'll make a general one, but I also make custom ones for certain people. So the new stuff we're gonna be doing is I'm gonna be doing um, bracelets that are aligned with the signs, of course, Aries, Taurus, Gemini. Or we can do what I did for someone just recently, where I did stones for their big three, their rising, their sun, and their moon, and turned it into a bracelet for them. I'm also going to be doing elemental bracelets, gemstones, and crystals that vibrate on the points of the elements, elemental structures. So there's going to be one for air, one for fire, one for earth, one for water, one for spirit. And in fact, this one right here, let me take it off real quick and let you know while we're talking. I'm going to be doing those and make them a little bit more general, but I also like to make them a standardized width of 6 to 6.5, but we can always work and do an extra big one or a smaller one, whatever it is. I work with people. Now, when it comes to chaplets, I'm going to touch that in a minute, but you should always wear your charms, wear your stones, wear them and empower them so that you have that energy flowing with you to help you repel or attract those things you need, so that you, being the altar that you are, the walking temple that you are, an ample temple, but still, the walking temple that you are, you have these things on you to attract those energies and vibrate with them. This particular one that I made for me and made for a lot of the members of the coven who last year our house had a lot to do with the water spirits. So essentially, the mermaid energies and spiritual energies of the sea. So we made a bracelet for the year, but we loved it so much that we kept it going on. And this one has this gorgeous blue aventurine and angelite with blue coral and polished seashell, and of course silver findings and what have you. And I love this bracelet. I do. It's on stretch cord, so you can just put it right on. And I love it so because it you can feel that watery sea energy, not just the sea in its calmness, but also in that power to get things done where you have to keep going and have that determination, because erosion is determination, because little by little all the waters will erode things until that obstacle, until that problem is out of the way, and it can be then used to build something better in its stead. Yes? Yes. So this one that's above it is one that I made personally for myself with rhodochrosite, rose quartz, red jasper, not jasper, excuse me, red, oh my god, red, not carnelian, red jade, excuse me. Had a moment, y'all. The blueberry kicked in, and blue angelite here. It's wonderful. So, yeah, you know what I'm talking about, baby. We speak to Maria all the time. Doña Maria is a beautiful thing, and I have a class called Juju. You might want to check it out. All of my classes are for sale, and if you want to know about my classes, you want to get in on one, or you want to see one of the recordings, come to me. We'll talk. We'll see. Get with me. Now, with each bracelet, there are different energies that are at play here. So I made a couple that were specific spirits or aligned with the energies of specific deities. But I also, like I said, I want to do this year. We're going to be doing the astrological ones and elemental ones as well. So get with me on what that's about, and we'll work with you. Now, chaplets are a different story. Chaplets to me, and I think I did a video on this before, but chaplets are not only surrounding yourself in a circle of power, a circle of protection, not only using them to attract or repel what you want, but they're also used in ritual, because seriously, rosaries, mala beads, prayer beads, you can use them by sitting there and focusing your energy on your beginning here and then praying upwards or chanting upwards with each bead, sitting down, putting your intent down and talking while you're doing your spell, while you're doing your spell work, while you're doing your spiritual work, while you're doing XYZ, and each thing you count off is a repetition of what you're doing or your intent while you summon spirit or while you're doing your energy. With this in particular, this one I made for me. I was being selfish. I like to adorn myself, but I have made many others for many of my homegirls, and they're they're well priced because these are real. I'm not using glass beads masquerading as crystals. We're using actual crystals, crystal beadworks, and not only are they strung strongly and put together, they are prayed over, they are worked, they are ritualized and imbued with spiritual energy. They are passed through the four elements. They are called, the sun and moon are called. There's a lot of things that go on with this. You're not just getting these, you're getting the work, you're getting the experience, and you're getting the spiritual energies that I'm putting there for you. And again, it's only halfway, because then I'm going to tell you how to empower this for yourself. I'm going to tell you how to make it personal for you. Like, you should personalize all your stuff, right? So with this is mine that ties me to a lot of the magic that my family does, because it is made with jet, amber, actual amber. And if you know how it's a little expensive amber is, that's real Baltic amber, and red coral. Coral, ambar y azabache. Jet, coral, and amber. These are very powerful stones. And they're not really stones per se, because jet is petrified wood. So it is the ancient growing energy from way back. It is the beginning. It is the time of the first time of Earth. Amber also, I know you've seen Jurassic Park, right? Amber is the sap that comes from these trees, and it holds and retains memory, energies, and power. And coral is a natural energy, and this was ethically sourced natural coral. Thank you. That is the power of the sea. So it's the earth, the sun, and the sea in their other aspects, the aspects of that which goes underneath as well as that which remembers in its primordial power, its strength. And this, not only is it repelling the evil eye, not only is it repelling negative energy, but it's helping me enhance my things too. So when I'm doing my work, and of course one of my favorite symbols to use is the witch's knot. So the props don't want to work right, Jeffrey. The witch's knot which is right there. It is a symbol of eternity, protection, and strength. And it is one that resonates with me as well because the witch's knot looks like the Congo cosmogram, the crossroads themselves, and it has a lot to do with everything. It resonated very deeply. And of course, the Ankh because of Egypt, man. You know what's up. My hub's Jeffrey. He's in his ancestry, even though he's a Louisiana boy, born and bred, born in New Orleans, raised just outside. You know what's up there. But the ancestry he has also harkens back to Scotland and Ireland. So the pentagram worked for him. So one of his chaplets that I made for him has a pentagram on it as well. So it has a pentagram on it as well, excuse me. So it harkens back to that ancestry just like this does for us. So not only are these the chaplets we made for us harken back to our ancestry and tie us to our ancestral energies, it also has spiritual energies that are tied to this as well. How does this help you? Well, we can sit and say, what type of chaplet are we looking for? What are the numbers we're looking for? What are the energies we're trying to raise with you or repel from you or keep around you? And we work and we forge something, which is why a lot of my people affectionately call me and your Uncle Jeffrey the Sindri and Brock of Juju. Because we fashion beautiful tools, magical weapons, and jewelry for heroes and gods. Yes. So that's it. I wanted to do that. Yes, the bling is for real. And have your bling, have your thing, do your work with this. Because not only that, you can take one of these chaplets if you make them for certain energies or for certain spiritual forces or to attack. You can also use them as a or attractive energies. You can also use them as a circle that you can put on the ground in front of you as a calling circle, as a ritual circle. Let's say you traveling and you're in your hotel room, you want to do a little bit of magic before you step out. There's your magic circle already done, and it is already aligned and attuned to you. So it gives you that protection and can contain your energy and your spell. It's multifaceted because yes, 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 yes. Not only is it like this, but you can undo it. So you see me holding on and holding on and holding on. No, you can undo it and then put it right back through. And behold, there's your magic circle. There's your circle of power. There's your prayer circlet. There is your meditation right here. I like having tools that are multifaceted, multifunctional, and also assist me in my work because a good brujo is never caught out there, out there. We know how to make things work for us and how to work with things, right? So that's what we do. That's how we do. So that said, if you have any other questions on chaplets and how beautiful they are and how gorgeous you'll look with them, but also what how to work with them in a spiritual magical function for your betterment, for your blessings and for your energy. And also, by the way, these are also stones that talk about permanence, that talk about prosperity, that talk about abundance, that talk about endurance. So not only is we trying to stack this paper, we stacking it and continuing it so it comes continuously. Whatever we're doing, it comes continuously and almost on a primal energy. So that is there doing what it's got to do when it does how it does. Yes? Okay. So now look, my beads is back on, my baby. And people have been using beaded work and beaded crystals and crystals for decades upon aeons of time. Even in the Bible, you have the breastplate of Aaron, which has carbuncles of jasper and lapis and amber and all these beautiful stones that were used. Stones are always used in the Bible, were used in the Quran, were used in the I'm sorry, it just slipped my mind just that easy. The Torah and in the history of the actual Hebrews, those energies that of those stones were powerful. Even back to the Chaldeans, back to the Sumerians, back to the Egyptians. They used these stones because they knew how to channel energy. And that's what we do with them. We're channeling these energies for ourselves and for our betterment. Yes? All right. So that said, if you feel like you want to sit down and find out some stuff about chaplets and getting your bling on, let me know. Get with me. We can sit, we can design stuff for you and then make it for you. And then, once it's done, every time you get a chaplet, I send you something extra, not only to help you align with it and attune with it, but also to keep that energy going and flowing. And usually it's an a sample size of oil that corresponds with what you have, and also with the bracelets, but you can have it without. And that's all she wrote. You can have anything. If you want to have a whole suite put together of chaplet, bracelet, oil, powder, in bath crystals, what have you. I'm thinking about dabbling in incense now that I speak about it, but that's another story for another time. Let us know. All right. So, again, if you want to schedule time with me and sit for a session of divination, a mentorship session, or even just a troubleshooting session where we sit down and help you talk out your stuff, let me know. Get with me. There is a new divination that we're offering as well outside of the Nutbones Oracle for an hour. We have a half hour with Le Petit Lenormand, the Lenormand card oracle. And if you're interested, let me know. Get with me and send me a note. And that's it. I hope y'all have the best Saturday ever, the best weekend ever, the best time ever. And enjoy. Take some time to see what you really want to keep for the rest of this journey and what needs to go on its way, because sometimes things that don't need to be in your life take up space for the things that do need to be in your life. Think about that. Meditate on that. Get those puffs in and know that we sending you big peace, love, and juju always. If you have any questions, float us a note, because this is all she wrote. Good night, good night. Y'all be kind to yourselves and each other and everybody else. And I'll talk to you later on. Peace, love.